Hello and welcome to my Coming of Age Diaries page 1. First, I'm going to explain the title of Coming of Age Diaries page, and so this video is page 1, and then the next Coming of Age Diary video is going to be page 2, because I love reading, so I thought it would be fun, because I was going to do chapter 1, chapter 2, and so on, but then I was like, but I feel like ages are more like chapters, and then I guess like the videos can be pages. So basically I love coming of age movies, and I feel like it's such an important part of one's life, and I always see YouTube videos that are like diaries for like 20s or 30s, but I don't see many that are like kind of the years between being 18 and becoming an adult and like moving on from high school to university all the way to 20. So I decided to make my coming of age diaries series that. So basically, I am in my, basically starting my last ever semester of high school, and then I'll be going into university. So I feel like it's the perfect time to start this coming of age diaries thing. Hello and welcome to a bathroom, because I'm getting ready to go out. And by going out, I mean to a bookstore with a cafe to read. But I mean, going out is going out. And I'm bringing 2 books with me. These are actually both not even out yet, but I only have an arc of one of them. I have an e-arc of Unloved. The first book's Unsteady. And I fell in love with the first book. Oh, but they're by Payne Kareem. Because the first book, it like broke my heart into a million pieces, but then put it back together, and it's so emotionally intelligent the way the writing is done, and it's just amazing. It was 5 stars, by the way, if anyone's wondering. So when I found out I got an e-arc of it, I was so excited. I was like, is this email right? Did Nick Alley make a mistake? But no, e-arc. And I have a physical copy that's not an arc, because I went to the bookstore and it was just there, and I'm like, I don't mind if I do, but I'm going to bring my Kindle to read, because I don't know, there's something, because like I know that this is an arc, so I'm like, I kind of want to read the arc just for my mind and be like, oh, I'm reading an arc, you know. But when I went to the bookstore, Love wasn't the only one that was there early, so was Tessa Bailey's new book, and Tessa Bailey is my favorite romance author ever. I've read so many of her books, and this is the 3rd book in the series that she's currently writing. The first book is Fangirl Down, and then the 2nd book is Au Pair Affair, and Dream Girl Drama. This one, when I found out who the 2 characters would be, I was so excited. Oh, look at the sprayed edges. Honestly, when I saw it in person, I was like, why is it so thin? This is going to last me until Tessa Bailey's next book. I need it to be bigger, but I'm so excited to read it. Tessa Bailey, her writing is just, it's amazing, and I feel like I wouldn't be the same reader I am without Tessa Bailey's books, because they're just so addicting in the way that they're romance, that it's romance books that make you happy, but there's also enough depth for it to mean something, and I think it's the perfect balance of, you know, just happiness but also meaning. Hello, it is a different day than what you just saw, but I didn't film anything talking, and I did finish Unloved, so I was like, I should probably talk about my thoughts, especially because it is my first 5-star read of 2025. The book right here, like I said, I read it on my Kindle, but I mean, my Kindle doesn't have color, it's not the new color soft, so this is much prettier to look at. I love the ombre, and let me tell you how amazing this book is. No spoilers, by the way. It is so amazing because it's hockey romance, which, I mean, I'm a hockey romance girly. I'm a Canadian, what can you expect? But like it's so much more because it's so deep and it deals with like mental health. And Peyton Corrine, the author, is so emotionally intelligent with her words, and she really does know what she's talking about. And you feel like the mental health awareness and mental health representation isn't just in there for like random obstacles. Like it has meaning to the story and to the plot. And the two characters, Ro and Freddie, are amazing. I think Ro is probably the most me character I've ever read about. Like, she is so relatable. Like, if you've ever related to like a March sister from Little Women, that's like Ro. Like, I feel like the last time I've related to someone as much as Ro was like from Little Women when I related to Jo, because Ro is just, she's amazing. And for my romance girlies, Ro is a romance novel girly, so she loves romance books, and it's truly an amazing book. Like, I'm not just saying that because I got an arc. Like, I love the first book. I read the first book just because I wanted to. I would have bought this book even if I didn't get an arc, because I love the first book, and of course I would love the series, and it's just amazing. Okay, I just stopped filming that clip, but I realized even though I told you a little bit about this book, I didn't tell you like the main tropes or anything. So it's reformed playboy, but it's also like tutor, ex-athlete, mental health representation, university. There's a little bit of spice, but it's not like the spiciest book I've read or anything, and I think all the spice in it, like, it's meaningful. It's not just like random. And let me tell you about the playlist, because I know that most of you watching probably love playlisting books, and if you don't, then like I get it, because sometimes music can be distracting, but I personally love playlists. So I mean, I'll just show it, and then I guess you can take a screenshot if you want, if you don't have the book. And let me just read some of my favorites on the playlist. So I'm a big Swiftie, the biggest Swiftie I know. The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, Fearless Taylor's version. Then there's also lesser known artists like Holly Humberstone, Kissing in Swimming Pools. When I saw that, I was freaking out because that's one of my favorite Holly Humberstone songs. And there's Harry Styles, there's Cigarettes After Sex, Niall Horan. There's also Tolerate by Taylor Swift. I almost forgot about that. The Cranberries, Phoebe Bridgers. It's definitely a very emotionally heavy book. So definitely look up the trigger warnings, because it does tackle grief a lot as one of like the main kind of sadness things. But if you're okay with all the trigger warnings that you find and you're okay with reading about grief, then I would definitely recommend it 100%. But read the first book first if you haven't read it yet. Now for what I'm actually doing today, I'm going to the only place I've filmed in this video other than my room and my washroom, cafe, to read. I might also do other stuff, and I'll probably film like a little time lapse of whatever I do. So, to the cafe! Okay, it's a different day, as you can see by what I'm wearing, but I didn't film today, but I did finish Dreamgirl Drama by Tessa Bailey. Oh my goodness, I love this book so much. I don't know if you can see the tabs, because they kind of blend in with the sprayed edges, but there are a good amount. This is another book you guys have to read, but you have to read the first two first. I think they're kind of like interconnected standalones, but I am forcing all of you to read the first two first, because yeah. And I'm going to say a trope that appears in this book. Now I need all of you to listen to me when I say that Tessa Bailey can do everything. She made me read golf romance, she made me read fisherman romance, and now she made me read step-sibling romance. I know, it sounds horrible, but trust me, and trust Tessa Bailey. Have faith in us, because this book is amazing. I liked it better than the second book, but I think the first book in the series I might have liked better than this one. But it's still amazing, and these two characters, I say this about so many characters I read, but they have my heart, and it's just their relationship and what they're willing to do for each other, and they understand each other really well, and like they communicate well. They understand each other, so there's that part. And it's spicy, but all the spice like the spice makes sense. It's not like too spicy where it's like, whoa, this is just happening out of nowhere. So yeah, I think I gave this 5 stars. I either gave it like 4 point something or 5. Well, read it. I really wanted to have a part in each kind of coming of age diary video where I reflect on something, because I think something that is very important, something that we naturally do when we're growing up, is kind of just reflecting on the past and events that have happened. And in this video, I wanted to kind of reflect a little bit about high school, because I am in my last semester of high school, and I think, like, I know I said earlier in this video that, like, ages could represent chapters, but I think different school years can also represent chapters, because if someone has been going to school since, like, kindergarten, they have kindergarten, then they have elementary school, then they may have middle school, which is, like, 7 and 8, and then they have high school, and then university, which is a big chapter. Like, it's almost like if you picture a book, like, high school is the final chapter before, like, the big twist or the big, like, event, you know what I mean? I think it's something so special, because even when someone is like 20 years old, if they had been going to school since like kindergarten, like most of their life has been school, even though they're like a full grown adult. And I think it's important to kind of like remember your school years, because even though they might suck and they might be horrible, I feel like, at least from my experience, even if I've had bad experiences with friends, they were there for me in certain times, and I did eventually find good friends. So I think, and then teachers, I think influence one's life a lot. I think there's so many components of school, whether it's elementary school or high school, that really contribute to one's life and how someone grows up and like how someone's personality is when they are older.